You're never honest.
So the cool thing is we're trying to figure out things that make sense for us as coaches, right? And one of the things I brought to attention with people is subliminally, we are teaching you guys client acquisition till you're blue in the face. But we're also trying to get you guys to understand sponsoring is where it's at. So for that meaning in the sense of, well, we're saying, hey, let's go acquire coaches because that's where the sustainability is. That's where people have long-term success. That's where people are able to find financial freedom. But then we're like, okay, let's run the ED, or okay, let's go acquire 5 clients, right? So there's that subliminal disconnect. So we're going to work on that as far as trainings, like March Madness. You're going to start to see a shift in that a little bit as far as that series. But for us, I want us to get really understanding of like what this can do if we really are intentional with finding coaches. And that means getting uncomfortable. Some of you guys were on the call earlier. You know, a lot of coaches are going back to the coffees. They're going back to the meetings in person. Some people are finding these different groups. You know, I didn't say much. I know Diana was in there. Maybe Beverly was in there. Me personally, I don't like networking groups. And I wasn't trying to pull some steam out of people's sales, but the problem is you get a lot of website and client and product thumpers that I just don't agree with, right? It's the mindset's not all there. So some people are finding these BNI groups. I don't know if you guys want to look into them, but they basically have different groups of people that you can be in there as long as it's not conflict of interest with somebody else. If they already have a health person, then they won't add you, whatever. But my thing is this: Kim Fisk built her business in 4 years before Facebook was even a thing to $100,000 a month. And all she literally did was go out and connect with people. And Diana even tested that theory. One day she went out to clothing stores, she went out to grocery stores, she went out to different places and literally just started talking to people. It's not that hard. You know, the old Kim Fisk story of her going out and saying, hey, you know what? I'm really excited. I told myself I talked to 5 people today and you're actually number 3. And I just want to kind of share with you what's been blessing my life over the past few months and why I'm really excited. You got a minute? And she would literally in a grocery store share with somebody why, and then she would use Facebook as the follow-up. So I think because of, you know, whatever you want to call it, the virus, I couldn't think right now. The virus was here, right? We're trying to figure out like how to maximize Facebook and use social media because nobody can be around each other, right? Well, we're kind of out of that now. And now Facebook should be that secondary platform of where like you've connected with somebody in person and now they can kind of watch you like a movie, right? And they're going to be able to see what your successes are. They're going to be able to connect with you after you've maybe shared with them a few things about what this is. Well, there's 2 different groups. You know, we always say run a high frontline volume so you can funnel those people in because those people already know what the program is. They're already finding successes and they're already doing good, right? But at the same time, there's also people out there that are just like you guys, like a Jennifer Ramirez, right? I didn't ask her to be a client. She didn't become a client and then become a coach. She became a coach first, right? And so those things are like where we want to create 2 lists. So most of us, I would say, have at least 5 clients in here, right? Give or take. Okay. So out of those 5 clients, we want to do what we call I plus Q equals A. Anybody heard of that? Okay. So it's called identify, qualify equals approach. And if you guys get good with this, this can go real fast, especially if you're not afraid to go meet with people in person and hang out. So some things to look for. When you're identifying somebody, most of the time we go to the, I don't know, right or left, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to get political on you guys, but we go to one side of the spectrum, right? And we're starting to look for people that need money, people that are on welfare, a single mom, somebody that needs this really bad. But at the same time, you can also identify people in the sense of somebody who's got a big following, somebody who's inspirational, somebody who's motivated, right? Like for me, I would have got looked straight past if Jamil would have put me in a category of probably not qualified, because I was a construction guy. I didn't know how to use Facebook. I didn't know how to use any of that stuff, but I was very much not afraid to talk to people. That's a huge one too. You could have somebody that doesn't know a computer. You could have somebody that doesn't have a social media, but if they're willing to talk to people, that's somebody that you could really help and change their life for sure. You know what I mean? And so that being said, is at the same time, you want to look at these categories. So identify, qualify, approach. So right now, I want you guys to take a few minutes and then we'll share. And if you're struggling with it, this is why I want us to do this. I want you to figure out who in your clients right now, best out of you can best. Don't overthink it. Don't say nobody. Just start thinking about, for the next 2 minutes, who has these characteristics. And I wrote some down. I said inspirational, needs change, big following, did great on program, referred a lot of people, right? Those are things you want to look for, because it doesn't always necessarily need to be mom on welfare, single parent, lost their job, right? You can use those, don't get me wrong, but you want to identify these people. Who are they? Qualify them with these attributes. Somebody who makes six-figure incomes. My aunt made double six figures. I still identified and qualified her and approached her. She was going to grocery stores at midnight. She was living on Red Bulls. That can be qualifying somebody too. I didn't think she necessarily needed the program, but I know she needed time. So these are things you want to look for when you're qualifying somebody. It doesn't need to be always health related. But for me, I knew it was time for her. So who in your clients right now may be doing okay on program, but they tell you all the time, I don't have time to read the book. I got 12 kids and there's just no way. Or I work 20 hours a day, or whatever it is. There's different qualifications, guys. It doesn't necessarily have to be one side or the other, if that makes sense. So if I know at least most of us have 5 clients, let's pick out one person and let's maybe take a few minutes for a couple of us to kind of talk about why did you qualify that person. All right. So I'm going to do that as well. I'll give you guys a few minutes and then we'll go from there. Are we good? Cool. Who'd like to go or share? Go ahead, Christine.
Okay, I actually wrote down 3 people. Well, 4 people. One is a married couple.
Awesome.
There's one person I've talked to Beverly about a lot, but that person has been struggling lately and started a new job, so she has a lot going on. So I'm kind of going to hold off on that for about a couple weeks to a month. But the first one, his name's Mike. He has a lot of weight to lose, but he has lost. I just checked in with him for his weekly check-in yesterday. He's lost 97 or 98 pounds so far.
Okay.
He works a lot. I know he's never available to meet with me or to chat with me or to do celebration calls with Beverly and me until after 7 p.m. So I know he works long hours, and that's not good for his health. And he has tried to recruit buddies at work. His buddies ask him what he's doing and everything. And he tells me, he said, I told them I'm not giving them my coach's phone number until I'm 100% sure they're serious, about signing up. So he's already kind of has that mentality that he wants to recruit other people, and he's excited about the program. The second person is my friend, whom I signed up about a month and a half ago. She's in the same place as me career-wise. She's a school counselor. So I'm a teacher, but same school system, same district. And she is also retiring at the end of next school year. And she has a very active life. She and her husband socially, they're members of different, of a country club, things like that. So she would have kind of a wide
Influence. Yeah,
influence. And then the last one is Michelle and Michael. The first time Beverly met them, she saw their picture and she's like, oh, they look like those married couples on the webinars, they like they're made to coach. They are, Michelle is actually Mike, the client I mentioned a minute ago. She is his sister, and she and her husband have different health goals. They don't have as much to lose, but they just want to optimize their health. But they are all in. They're excited. They've been meticulous about the program. They've been reading the life book. So I really kind of think all of them would make amazing coaches.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. I like how you did more than one too. That's awesome. Okay, perfect. Next, anybody else want to go?
I will. We really just have to keep it to one?
Well, for time's sake, I would say, yeah. I mean, I know she, no,
okay.
You're all good. You're all good. I like the mindset. Don't get me wrong. I'm just for this.
No, it's okay. I get it.
Really,
for timing. So I'll just go real quick with one that I'm really kind of on the edge of my seat about is, and I've kind of told you about her a long time ago, that she's somebody that has been on my heart that I really wanted to get involved in. She is a pastor's wife. Mm-hmm. And kind of said, no, just kind of kept reaching out, kind of said, no, kept reaching out. So she's now a client, and she just finished her first week. So we're going to get her on I asked her if she would be willing to get on a call. She is huge with her husband's church. It's their church. So her following, everybody just crowds toward her and wants to do everything she does. And when I met her, she actually worked for the college, my previous college that I worked for, and she was in admissions. And so she's used to talking to people, and she's used to talking to people in a positive manner and helping them see what she sees. So kind of reached out to her, told her about the coaching aspect of it. And the only challenge I might have with her is she's always been in direct sales and marketing. So we did already talk about how this is different than that it's not a sales thing, but she's got a huge heart for people. So to kind of transition her over to, it's not a sales deal, but I think it would help her a lot stay on program. She's loving program, being very successful with it. So she's one that I'm out of this list of 9 that I'm really excited about.
Okay, perfect. And then who's next? Linda, do you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. I have one pretty obvious one, but I'm going to skip her. I have a couple. that are retired in North Carolina, and they're loving program, and they totally don't need the money. He's a retired correctional officer, moved there and started like a lawn care business because he doesn't know how to sit.
Mhm.
And so I'm thinking them, and we just got them set up for, it's only their second order or their first like refill order. But I think that they'd be really good, and they're really connected. And I talked to him the other day for a follow-up call, and he was on the golf course with like 5 other retired guys, or 4, however many are in a thing. And he was asking me, what's it called? 5-in-1. And he was telling them it was called 5-in-1. And so I think that he might be a way good asset, because I think he's also going to get out of this lawn care business thing, like whatever that's about. But he can relate to, I mean, everybody's going there to retire.
Okay.
So that's Craig. Craig and Marcia are married.
Cool. So good. Those are good examples, guys. So what I want us to think about is what's the next step? What have we done? What's the next step? Does anybody know what the next step is?
Get him on a Coach Explore call with you.
Right. So who's done that?
I have not.
I
Okay.
confirmed that she wants to, so now I have to combine calendars.
So here's the disconnect, I feel like, and you guys might get mad at me for saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. So the thing is we need to figure out how to shorten up these time frames with certain things. And obviously I know some of you guys have full-time jobs and some of you don't, but it's the time frames of the mindset. So a lot of us are going to be like, well, I talked to them about it. When they're ready, they'll let me know. A lot of people don't know what they're not ready for. You get what I'm saying? So, and for us, when we start to learn the soft skills, what we need to do is start to get this going faster with somebody who's confident in sharing the business. Because what you want to do is, it's almost like I tell a coach, like you could sign up as a client right now and then wait to be a coach. Meanwhile, people are going to start to ask you, and it's almost like this. It's better to be prepared and not have an opportunity than have an opportunity and not be prepared, right? So I always say you should buy your kit and program, because now we can start coaching you. So when people do start noticing, we can kind of prepare for that. It's the same thing with the coaching structure. For some reason, there's a window of time where people are excited about the program, they're feeling good, or they're excited about what you guys talked about personally, maybe at a coffee date or at a dinner somewhere. Some people are out having drinks and it just kind of comes up. But you want to move that to the next step, because if you shorten up all these time frames times 30 people, times 60 people, times your coaches getting in that rhythm, all of a sudden you wonder why, like I mentioned before, like a Doug Wood went from falling backwards as a global director to in 11 months brought on 1,800 health coaches, right? And the reason we say that is because these time frames get shortened. And so a lot of us got to remember, like when you have somebody that's identified and qualified and approached, you got to figure out a way to get them on a call, right? And it's literally like, oh my God, girl, like you're telling me all these things. This is so exciting. When's a good time you can explore coaching? Because I just want you to know everything there is to know about it. And then when you're kind of ready, at least you have everything, all the information to understand it. So I'm available at Tuesday at 6 and Friday at 4. Which time works best for you? And literally posture it like that. Now, if people cancel or people can't do it, that's fine. But if you get in that rhythm, then when they come on, they get in that rhythm. When their coach comes on, they get in that rhythm. Now you got like a steam train going down the road at like 80 miles an hour, right? And it's not all about just go fast, make a lot of money, but it's literally working the system to encourage people not to get burnt out, right? Because some of these people, we can kind of be tippy-toeing around asking them to where something else exciting, right? Everybody's like a fish. Here goes a shiny thing, right? Off to the next thing. So meanwhile, we're taking too long to get their attention. And now their girlfriend came over and their hair product's amazing and whatever. Or I just picked up this second job and now I don't have time to do what you asked me to do. And now I'm actually falling backwards on program, if that's the case, right? So those are things to look at. So these are all clients, right? These are all current clients. Right now, I want you guys to think of a person outside of your client base, which I already wrote mine down. That's why I gave you guys a little bit more than 2 minutes. But I want you guys to think outside your client base. I'm going to give you like 3 minutes. Like, who would be amazing at this? Who needs this? Remember, we want to find their need too, because when you approach them, you could think they're amazing. They're a pastor's wife. They're very vocal. They have a big following. But what do they really need besides just program that's going to allow them to be business driven or mission driven too? You know, and in the pastor's wife's position, you know, for an example, they don't get paid a lot. Maybe they own the church they're in. Maybe they donate their time there more than they get paid. So can you contribute an extra 20 grand a year to them being able to upgrade the church? Can you contribute to them having more bulletins? Can you contribute to them having more services that they're allowed to have? Can you contribute to upgrading the paint on the church? Can you donate to, you know, the homeless? What is her passion that gets that involved? Because when you talk to them, her losing weight and then sharing that with people might not always be the fuel for some people, right? When they're spiritual people, they want to give, like donate. And a lot of that comes with funding it. So those are things I want you to think about. So take a few minutes to think of somebody outside, whether it's a mom, single mom, dad, hardworking mom, stay-at-home dad, whatever that is. And then spend 2 minutes like qualifying these guys for what you think they could be. And then we'll talk about it in a second. All right, cool. Stopwatch has got some funky noises going on. Perfect. So who wants to share?
I will.
Um,
Sorry, Roy, go ahead if you want to.
Go ahead, Roy.
Um,
She already talked. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Love you too, doctor.
there's been somebody that's been in my mind, and I've kind of gently reached out to a few times, and now posting a lot on our stuff and building that up. So much so she's posting stuff on mine, so you know that's coming. Her name is Chris. I knew her from the comedy world, and she has a huge following, and she's a huge health person, right? She's a Pilates girl. She does all this kind of stuff, and she's got a big, huge following. And I just think that with what she does and how she's into health, that it might be a great fit for her to be able to do that. And that's like a huge one right now. That's why I rolled over. I was looking at my whiteboard. And I just really think that Should be a great fit. It's got a great personality, young, energetic, social media presence, well liked, and into health. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
that's the big one.
So
for me.
those are things you want to share with her, right? Especially somebody that we're not really connected to the program in that sense. You know, Doug Wood, everybody, I mean, Jamil, a lot of people, most of your best coaches are going to need to lose like 10 to 15 pounds. And they're sometimes not even going to come from your client base. Those are two statistics that have been proven. That's what we got to look at. But the thing is you want to see, so she's got great characteristics, right? She's not scared to talk to people. Obviously she's from the comedy world. Then we know we have to start looking on our social media for what's a need. And then we have to figure out a way to have a coffee date with her or get on the phone. You know, if she's local, get on a coffee date with her, or go out to dinner, you and her and Dawn, and just start kind of, you know, coming up with ways to just share with her why you think she'd be amazing at this and what you really want to talk to her about.
And that's the tough part. She would definitely do that. Problem is, she's in Montana.
Well, you need to buy a plane. So let's get going with clients, right?
No, stop with that. I'll hear it from Dawn already. Her dad could fly us there. Yeah, I know. No.
Well, that's fine. So even a Zoom call, but you know,
Yeah.
honestly, here's where we got to get the scared tactic out. And most of us on here, and maybe not necessarily you, Roy, because you're from the comedy world with Rob. But the thing is we got to get better at being bold and just say F it. And say, hey, you know what? This has been bothering me. Honestly, I was just on a call earlier tonight and there's something I got to tell you. Is it cool if we hop on a call tomorrow around noon? Zoom call. I just want to share some stuff with you. And now this is all out. Now they're paying attention to you. That's the other thing too, guys. You have to get people to start paying attention to you. You think, and we all assume they know what we're doing because we posted our before and after picture and we post before and after pictures and we titled ourselves Opt to be an independent health coach. Make sure you did that or compliance will come after you. But that being said is we have to get bolder with this and we have to do it every day. So like it literally took us 5 minutes to do 2 people. So I got a guy right here, my neighbor, Tyler. So, and just on Instagram, which is funny, we actually message each other more on Instagram more than we do text, and I have his number, but his wife works days, he works nights, he watches his kids during the day, shows them how to bow hunt, and he's outside showing them how to fish, literally in the front yard, like super huntsman style guy, old school. He's always hanging out with them playing baseball or taking them to the park, but he's basically watching the kids while his wife's at work. And then when she comes home, he goes almost like a Josh and Michelle situation. He works at a warehouse. He's a manager. I believe they moved down here from St. George or Utah area. He had to just recently sell his trailer. He says because he's not going to use it a lot, but you can kind of hear with his comments in between that they're probably just not able to afford it for not being able to use it as much as they do. And so now they're in a situation where I'm telling him like, hey, let's go do this. And he's like, oh, I'd love to, man, but you know, trying to figure out finances right now. Hey, let's go do that, right? So I'm salting his oats, like Dan Bell would say, right? You can lead a horse to water, you can't force him to drink, but I'm salting his oats. But the thing is I've identified him, I've already qualified him, and I've approached him, right? And so now it's a matter of them following us and seeing what it is. I've added him to the Facebook page, and we're working our way through those processes. But if we can pick out one person a day to reach out to, in 2, 3, 4 months from now, like if you guys have seen that, you know, November shows up in January, so on and so forth, slide that Jamil shows all the time. It's the same thing with these coaches. Once you start building a big funnel of coaches, and I kind of talked about this the other day at my house for the event. Once you start building a funnel of people, they just start showing up and just start showing up and just start showing up to where now it's not a matter of like trying to worry about finagling people to get going because you're starting out brand new. They're just starting to come from nowhere, right? And now you're starting to build that path. But we really need to get better at doing this daily. Somebody who's a client, and if your client base isn't that big, great, but create a new list. And then how are we going to approach that person? What are we going to do? So if somebody's in Montana, then we either do a phone call or a Zoom, right? If somebody's down the street, hey, this Saturday at 9 o'clock, I was thinking about grabbing coffee. Are you around? Right? Or, hey, this Thursday, I get out of work early. I'll be in Upland area, whatever that looks like, Texas, you know, wherever you're at, you know, hey, I get out of school, on your way home, maybe stop and have a dinner date with somebody. right? Getting in people's faces, having them see you, talk to them. I just was at Boots in the Park or whatever the heck you call that thing. And this dude, his name's Siegel, Jared, he saw me through a line. We shook hands real quick and I chatted with him. I said, "Hey, what's up, man? Long time no see." This dude's been all over my Instagram for 2 days now. So clearly there was something that triggered him to know. He knows what I did because I know his cousin did my program a few years back. But maybe he was like, well, hey, Justin's still fit. Justin hasn't put weight on. Justin's still doing that business. Maybe I need to check out what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm definitely going to reach out because I'm watching him all over my social media, right? And he has a big presence too. So that'll be a guy I'm going to put down on my list. So there's always got to be ways to think, why is this person going on my list and how do I get people on my list? Constantly. So who else has got somebody else that they want to share that hasn't spoke yet? Okay, go ahead, Marley.
I'll mute myself now.
Thank you.
Oh man.
So yeah, so I have, well, the first one is my hairdresser. She's been someone that's been on my heart for a long time. She just recently had her second baby and she knows about programs. She knows what I do. She's watched me from the very beginning. And so, but right now, since she's had her second daughter or her second child, we talked a little bit about she needs to lose weight. And so now she's like, no, maybe I should go on your program because I'm not having any luck losing this baby weight. So I'm hoping that, and then she has, because she is a hairdresser, she has that huge connection with the hairdressing world and she's got a captive audience because they're sitting in her chair. So as they watch her losing weight, she can actually talk to them about program and things like that. So, and then I have another new mom that just had a set of twins that I know she would love. I mean, I'm assuming, I haven't talked to her about it yet, but I've just been working on our relationship and just reconnecting with her because I'm also a twin mom. And so, but I think that she probably would want to stay home with her kids. And this would be a perfect opportunity for her to do that. And so, yeah, so that's, those are the two people. So I'm kind of focusing on new moms right now. It just seems like that's what I'm kind of gravitating to for some reason, just because of the people that I'm in contact with. So
Cool.
yeah.
So here's I'm really excited, dude. I called Apple and they fixed, it wasn't even my Zoom or my internet. It was my computer, by the way. If you notice, I haven't froze. I'm kind of excited about that. Just wanted to say that. No, that's good. So here's the thing. We don't want to think too long. So this is where we talk about being bold. I would get in there and with both of them and just say, oh my God, girl. Like you could totally come home, stay with your baby, get off your feet, like start asking them questions like, do you want to go back to hairdressing? I know you love it, but how much do you love being home with this baby? Right? Start challenging some of those questions and find out what it is. And then right up to the point of like, now you're in this conversation. Oh my God, you know what? Why don't we just get on a call with my coach? We could talk about coaching. We could kind of dream a little bit. We could kind of explore what's possible. That way, you know everything that's there, no pressure, but at least you know and don't think or can guess what you think coaching looks like or what business looks like, what that could look like for you. When are you available? And get this stuff shortened up. And then the same thing with the other lady who's the twin mom. It's the same thing. I'm not trying to challenge what you're saying, but at the same time I am. Don't worry about thinking, just ask them, explore with them, share with them why you're excited, how you've been able to travel all over, how you quit your job as a teacher. And maybe that's not for you, but what it could be is, I know with twins, it can be hectic. Maybe you need some assistance. I could show you how to run this business and hire a nanny full-time or hire a night sitter or hire somebody to come clean the house twice a week or whatever that is and find their need, but do it at a faster pace than just waiting for them to kind of be not sure about what they don't even know. That's the biggest struggle I feel like coaches have. And that's kind of why I wanted to do this call is we take way too long to present them with what we think. That's our word, think. I'm not picking on you, Bev, but that's what people do. People think, well, I think, and then they sit there and think, or they let the person think they know what the business is, and they'll decide when they're ready to come to you when they have no clue what they're waiting to decide on. They think they do, but they don't. So all I'm saying is we got to get a better rhythm of finding clarity fast. And if we're not just going to say it, if we're not at an FIBC rank, most of the time we're not qualified to share the business with them. So that's where you want to explore your story. Don't talk at them. Don't get all crazy. Ask questions, share your story. And then it's an immediate, oh my God, let's explore coaching, because I could totally see this being a fit for you and your babies. I could totally see this being a fit for you as a mom. I could totally see this of you getting off your feet, whatever that looks like, right? I just got a lead and I'm already thinking coach. Literally just got a lead, and I messaged this person and I said, hey, Jennifer, nice to meet you. My name's Justin Avini. I'm your certified health coach. Looking forward to accomplishing your goals. What day and time are you able to connect? And she goes, hi, Justin. I work a lot, maybe 2 tomorrow afternoon, right? Works a lot. Green light, go. Right? So what do you think I'm going to do on that call? I'm not going to just do a health assessment. That's going to be a coach assessment, guaranteed. So this is where you have to just be a little bit more aggressive in our mindset and not let everybody just, that's why I try to tell people, we come to this community because we can't decide on our own. How many clients are like, oh my God, I know what to do, I just can't do it. And this is so easy to follow, right? It's the same thing with the business. It's the same thing with decisions. So we have to help them make decisions and bring clarity to what they're doing. So when we're like, oh my God, I got this girl, she'd be great at it, I just want to give her a little bit of time. Time to do what? She doesn't even know what she's really got time to do, right? Because a lot of times we don't like being nosy either. I know a lot of us have a problem with digging a little bit deeper into people, like, well, how could this serve you? What are you looking forward to doing? Oh my God, you're stressed out. Tell me about, like, this girl. I'm Tom and Christy are clients of mine, and she's like, oh my God, I'm getting bloody noses and I'm getting headaches. And I'm asking her, is it stress related? Are you working too much? Are you drinking enough water? Are you getting your sleep? Right? I'm going to be nosy, if that's what you want to title it, because I'm going to find out why coaching makes sense for her. I know she works at the school district a lot. I know she's a mom. I know she also works. So she's probably overloaded, right? So I'm going to find a reason to be nosy and find these things. But the only way you can do that is ask questions. So once that happens, now our next check-in, which is tomorrow, I'm going to get on a call with her and Tom and be like, hey guys, here's the deal. This is why you guys should probably coach. This is what it's about. This is what you can do. What are some things you feel like could benefit you in this situation? And then now they know everything. Now, if they take a month or 2 months or 5 months or 10 months or 2 years, I don't know. That's not my job. But at least they have everything out there. They know they can make a better decision when it's time. And now when they're following me on social media, it's like, well, shit, that's how he's doing that. Well, dang, that's how he's doing this. Oh my God, that's how they're paying for that. Oh my God, that's why he's got so much time freedom. Now it's just like, it's in their face, right? Versus some people, it's like a good example, Shelly Garcia. She's Michelle Obama's coach. For 9 months, she got into a bad car accident. And for 9 months, she waited till her doctor gave her a clear to then reach out to Michelle because she thought it was an exercise program. You see how people can get stuck for like 9 months thinking they know what it is, and they don't. And all that does is prolongs us from building a better business, finding people that are ready now, getting people that are excited, and moving it forward. Was this kind of helpful at all tonight? Cool. Well, I promise I won't yell next time, I think. And Don, you can speak twice next time, I promise.
I just wanted to point something out, Justin, that great Apple computer was the problem.
You're
Kind
true.
of like the phones and the watches.
I can't even deny that, dude. That's 100% true. It is. But at least I don't sound like a robot when I was talking. Mine comes on perfectly. So, but anyways, all right, guys, thank you for staying over. I know we're a little bit past our time frame. We'll talk to you guys soon. We'll see you next week. Have a good day.
Bye. Have a good week, you guys.
You too.
It's like